Well, thank you for joining me again. Just to recap, my name's Dennis Fancier and I'm a Giving Ministry Advisor with the Diocese of Newcastle. Now, many years ago, I was part of a leadership team of a church in southeast London, and there was a man in our church who genuinely did not have much money. He didn't have a good job. He struggled to pay the rent on his bedsit and to make ends meet. Those facts were not in dispute. We all knew that. He was a great guy and he was a dearly appreciated member of our church. So when he said to me one day, look, I can't give to the church. I simply don't have enough money. My inclination was just to accept that and to say, well, that's totally understood. That's all right. It doesn't matter. But one of my leadership team colleagues was with me at the time and he interjected with a slightly different line. He said, what about 50p? Could you manage to give 50p a month? And my friend readily accepted he could. He pointed out that he could merely skip coffee at work one day. In those days, you could still get coffee for 50p, which I don't think you could now. He hadn't thought of only giving 50p before, yet he said that's what he would start to do. But I think actually he must have skipped coffee more than once a month, because soon he was giving £2, and then actually not long after that he was giving £10 a month, and then it went up even more. And my guess is he never became the biggest giver in the church, but in time he was giving a reasonable amount, and his gift was a blessing both to him and to us. You see, I believe that the realization that he could give and he would give, even if it was just 50p, it kind of broke something. It broke this mindset of I can't give. And thanks to the interjection of my fellow leader, we had kind of managed to break that. The truth is, all of us can give something. It may not be a lot. That doesn't necessarily matter. It's a spirit or attitude of giving that is important. People that look to give where they can, people who look to give what they can, people wanting to count themselves in, no matter how big the justification to excuse yourself might be. It's so interesting to note Jesus' response in Mark chapter 12, verse 43, to the widow who gave 2 mites at the temple. For those that don't know, a mite is 1/8 of a penny, and even in Jesus' day, that wouldn't have been a lot. Yet Jesus remarked on it. He said, this poor widow has put into the treasury more than all the others. The others all gave out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put in everything that she had to live on. Her offering was acceptable to the Lord, and surely that is what we desire for any expression of our worship, be it singing, prayer, or what have you, that what we bring is acceptable to him. And the widow's mites were. So I believe was my friend's 50p. See, in human terms, we might think, well, for just 2 mites, it's not even worth putting the offering bowl out. Well, it was for that woman, and it was for Jesus. Giving is not just about raising money. It's about expressing our commitment to the cause. It's about saying, I'm part of this. As I mentioned earlier in the week, that's why the Macedonian Christians pleaded with St. Paul to be allowed to participate in the collection he was organising for the church in Jerusalem. Even though Paul seemed willing to exclude them because of their own hardship, which he was only too aware of, they didn't want to take up that offer. They wanted to give. And I believe that giving together is part of our communion together. We are one church, one mission, with one financial need, to which surely none of us would want to opt out of. So let's make sure that we too haven't simply decided that financial giving is not for us. Now, I don't want to belittle all the other forms of giving time, giving skills, giving words, giving trust, some of which we'll come on to tomorrow and Sunday. These are all very important things and so much appreciated too. And if that's the way you are giving, then thank you. Thank you so much. But just let's not close ourselves off to the possibility of financial giving too. Consider 50p. Consider £1. Is there some small thing like my friend's workplace coffee that you could manage without? Let's start our journey of financial generosity with God and see where it will lead. Hey, thank you so much for listening. Tomorrow, we'll be looking at being generous with words, with what we have to say to others. And I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.